A marriage proposal is issued. Elizabeth goes to bat for Willow. Michael is enraged. Nina makes an admission. Britt is appalled. Jack has Vaughn taken away for seeing Joss in secret, and Rocco is beaten up in juvie at GH. Michael learns from Liz that Willow's on leave until the trial. She hopes that things change between them, has compassion for both. He's grateful for what she's doing for Willow, speaks to who she is. Liz admits Willow moved out. He's not sure why he's surprised. They agree she's got a bad track record. Drew probably sees it as a good legal strategy to welcome her into his home. Liz thinks he should give Willow access to the kids, which might make her leave Drew since it's the reason they're together. They talk about him being there for his burn treatment. He admits he relives the agony, pain, and loneliness of being in Germany alone. Willow didn't make an effort to keep him connected to his kids more than once. Christina and his family tried to help. It irks him that she keeps wanting Drew. He has to protect the kids from her and Drew. Willow arrives at Drew's with her bags. Drew's thrilled. She's having mixed feelings since the kids were with her when she lived there. He tells her she gives him strength. She worries someone will be back to finish the job of shooting him. Isn't he? He's not concerned. This makes her admire him. It's one of the first things that made her fall for him. He offers to sell the house and buy something else. She claims she's just overwhelmed. He worries she's having second thoughts about being with him. She's just upset knowing she'll be in prison because there's no way out. How can he want her? He expresses his desperation to have her and her family back. He gets on one knee and proposes. He wants just those who support them at the wedding. He also thinks it could help her case. She agrees with that. He thinks she could win custody back. She sighs. She's always married due to circumstance and wants to marry for the right reasons next time. Drew professes his love and asks if she loves him. Britt reads the PC press about Dalton filing charges against Rocco. When Nina arrives, she begs her to write something about Rocco and the PPPD. She can't, but thinks Lulu can do it. Crimson's not suited. She's sad to hear Rocco's in a detention center. Liesl refuses to be passive about this. Nina knows she wants to help, but Rocco's got a village. Willow's got nobody except, well, Drew. They talk about Willow moving back in with him, and Liesl asks what's wrong with her. Nina says Drew uses her history of being controlled and uses it against her. Liesl reminds her that this is partially her fault. Nina knows and blames her aunt too, for thinking that Willow was responsible for messing around with Sasha's head using Daisy. Liesl still thinks so, but Nina needs to stop wanting to make up for lost time. It's only making it worse. Nina did something stupid, she says. Liesl thinks Nina shot Drew for her. Nina wanted to. But no, she betrayed Portia by giving Alexis a heads up about her not having a good alibi. Nina claims Portia's friendship is meaningful and she can't afford to lose her. She thinks she threw her under the bus for nothing because Michael's alibi isn't ironclad. Outside Lulu's, Alexis and Jason talk to Danny about working on his statement about his charges. Laura answers the door, and Alexis says she hopes Dalton will be done for good after this. Abkthy, Hedden and Lulu and Charlotte arrive. Nathan stops them to catch up. He wants to bring Lulu to see her son. Everyone heads inside and tells their statement, admitting they barely touched anything. They say Dalton punched Rocco. They were afraid to admit it because they thought Dalton would deny it. He hit him in the stomach. They hope it'll help with getting him home. Laura and Jason talk outside about knowing the kids are lying. Lulu will be livid when she finds out. Alexis takes them aside and tells them she knows they're lying about the punch they needed to defend their brother. Britt's stunned to see Rocco's smashed-in face at juvie. She yells at the guard about it and he shrugs it off. She demands a first aid kit. He goes to get it and Rocco admits he stole her key card and apologizes for breaking her trust. She says it doesn't matter now. She fixes him up and when she goes, the guard asks if she's his mother. Yeah, he says and then corrects himself. She's someone close to him. When she's gone, Lulu and Nathan arrive. Mother and son hold hands and he swears he's okay. When she sees his face, Nathan thinks Rocco was targeted because of his connections. Any time he spends there is dangerous. He tells the guard he's taking Rocco back to Port Charles Police Department. If the guard or his superiors have an issue with it, they can talk to the Ada. He'll stay there until the bail hearing. Sunny finds Justine at PPPD. He gets rid of the cop she's talking with and she tells him he's out of line. He doesn't care and wants Rocco released. Now, he was assaulted. Justine's sorry. He pressures her to do his bidding but she doesn't take orders from him or threats. She'll handle this by the book. Sunny gets in her face. He gave her the benefit of the doubt and they both know Dalton destroyed his lab to frame Rocco. She admits Dalton didn't show up to the interview about that and they can't locate him. He flashes to Dalton being dead in Laura's trunk. She tells him they've grounds for an immediate bail hearing and goes. Ava goes to see Sidwell about purchasing some art but he's not in the mood. He asks if she knows if there are any peers he can buy. He's not a gracious loser. She admits they have that in common but wants a silver lining for him. Maybe he and Sunny will find peace. Jens doubts that. Talk turns to Rocco and he hopes that he's not too traumatized by it. He agrees to visit her at the gallery to see the new artwork. Britt interrupts and wants to talk. She doesn't care if Nina stays or goes. Jens gets rid of the blonde and angrily shouts at Britt that he doesn't like what she's done. He threatens to do to her what he did to Dalton. She tells him he needs her and she begs him to get Rocco out of the detention center. He asks if something happened to the kid. She explains it and since Dalton's dead, there's no reason for the kid to be in there. Jens thinks it'll nudge Sunny. She realizes he had Rocco attacked. He admits to it and warns her. Nathan and Lulu take Rocco to PPPD where Sunny's stunned to see them. He learns what Nathan did and Lulu worries it'll affect his job. Justine appears and yells at Nathan but he was doing her a favor. She tells him not to do it again. She goes to Sunny and Rocco to tell them he'll be in his bed tonight. Ava goes to see Liesl and Nina and they discuss her meeting with Sidwell and what a powerful man he is. Liesl says he sounds familiar. Drew turns up and invites them all to Thanksgiving. Willow goes to GH to ask Liz to Thanksgiving. Michael watches as Willow shows her the engagement ring and asks her to be her maid of honor.